Hello and welcome to the first task of the creative writing course. In our first session we looked at two terms, simplicity and clarity. They are what I consider to be the fundamental concepts of writing. When we move on to talk about plot or character, setting or style, I want these two concepts to be in the back of your mind at all times, informing all the creative choices that you make. Simplicity. Have I stripped out everything that I don't need? Am I creating the biggest impact with the fewest words? And clarity. Am I using every sentence, every description to convey the tone, the meaning that I want to convey? In the session we had a task where I asked you to describe someone entering a room. Then we reduced the word count for a second draft, with the intent that you would focus on and retain only the important details. If you want to create a tone that is threatening or suspenseful, focusing on the man's fuzzy knitted jumper doesn't quite work, in the same way that if you were trying to create a warm, friendly atmosphere, having the man pacing and biting his nails, it creates the opposite. So, with that in mind, our first task is going to be similar, but with some exciting differences. In the description of this video, you will find a Google Documents link, and there you will find a little block of text that I have written. I want you to have a good read of it, and then I want you to write what happens next. A second paragraph of the same length, continuing where you imagine where the story goes. The text that I wrote is 400 words long, and I would like you to join that with another 400 words. I want you to be expansive. Take your time with it. I want you to visualize the scene, to turn on your sense memory, luxuriate in sights and smells and sounds and textures. Focus on the detail and description. Build it up and flesh it out. Then, just as we did in the first session, I want you to write a second draft. I want you to take both paragraphs, the one I've written and the one you've written in response. I want you to combine them into a new draft. But this time, I want you to use your cool, measured, editorial eye. Assess what you have written in terms of simplicity and clarity, and then cut the whole thing in half. So, you'd be given 800 words. I want to see the second draft brought down to 400 words. And I want you to be able to tell me what the reasons were behind the cuts you made, what details you kept, and why. Finally, if anyone is feeling particularly brave, have a go at taking the next step and cutting it in half again. 400 words down to 200 words. Okay, so that's your task. A 400 word response to what I have in the Google document. A second draft condensing that 800 words into 400. And, if you're feeling up to it, an optional extra task of bringing that 400 down to a final 200. Okay. Remember, be bold and big in your descriptions, then be clinical in your focus upon simplicity and clarity. Good luck, and I'm looking forward to hearing your work in the next session. So,